So today I am going to discuss one very interesting phenomenon in surface tension, and this has been widely used in the IIT JEE and the medical entrance exams. So first of all, I reveal what the phenomenon is and what the equation is, and after that I'll be giving the examples which have the kind of questions which could be solved through that trick, that formula, which have already appeared so many times in the JEE or NEET exam. Look at this. Suppose we have a spherical drop, liquid drop of radius r, and surface tension of this liquid is T. Surface tension of this liquid is T. Now here I consider at the top of it, here I consider a very small surface of on the sphere, very small surface on the sphere, and radius of this surface is small r. Radius of this surface is what? Small r. Now see, as you know, the surface tension, the force of surface tension, how does it act? Let's say tell you, suppose this is a liquid surface. And how the force of surface tension acts? If I draw here an imaginary line, the force of surface tension acts on the both sides of the line, perpendicular to the line and parallel to the surface. I have drawn this imaginary line on the surface of the liquid. So the force of surface tension acts how? It acts perpendicular to the line and parallel to the surface. So the same thing will happen here. Suppose this is my imaginary line, the circumference of this circle. So the force of surface tension T will be acting like this, see. It will be acting in this way from all sides. It will be acting like this from all sides. It will be acting in this way. Because see, I have taken that this is the surface. So not like force will be acting here and force will be acting in this side. Rather what? This is the surface. So the force will be acting T in this side and T in this side. And this diameter of this circle 2r, that subtends an angle 2 theta here. This theta is very, very small. This subtends angle 2 theta at the center. So see, this T in this side and T is in this side. So the component of T, if this angle is theta, we'll say that this angle is also theta and this angle will also be theta. So component of T along this direction will be T cos of theta, and component of T towards the center will be T sin theta. The same thing will be true for this T also. In this direction we'll have T cos theta, and in this direction we'll have T sin theta. So the total force towards the center becomes what? You'll see this. I write it and notice it carefully. The total force towards the center becomes 2T cos theta into what? Pi r. Do you remember? Surface tension T was the force acting on the unit length. That was the force acting on the unit length. So what happens here? Because this length is what? Pi r. So the force acting on it will be what? T cos theta, and this T sin theta and T sin theta are taken from both the sides. If I had taken it T sin theta, if I had taken it T sin theta, then that would have been multiplied by what? 2 pi r. And see, T cos theta of all the sides will be cancelled. Like see, there is a surface like this. So T cos theta in this side they'll be cancelled. T cos theta here they'll be cancelled. T cos theta here they'll be cancelled. So the total force towards center becomes what? T sin theta from one place, and such circumference is what? 2 pi r. So T sin theta into 2 pi r is the total force that is acting towards the center. And this force is acting on this part of surface area what? Pi r square. So what will be the pressure generated by this force? The pressure P will be equal to 2T sin theta into pi r divided by what? Pi r square is the pressure. So pi and pi they get cancelled, r and r they get cancelled, and t, because theta is a very small angle, sin theta will be theta, so that becomes 2 theta divided by what? R. This becomes t upon r, and angle 2 theta equals to 2r divided by capital R. This becomes 2r divided by what? Capital R. So that becomes, this becomes what? It is 2t by r. There is a pressure generated because of this. Is that clear? There is a pressure generated due to the surface tension towards the inner side of the liquid. That means what? This pressure will try to compress the liquid. So if it is a spherical surface, this is the formula 2t by r. But if it is a cylindrical surface, like this is a cylindrical body of liquid and its radius is r, then what will be the pressure generated towards the inner side? Means that pressure will try to compress the liquid, that will be T by R. We take it like this, see, sphere had got curvature from all the sides. Cylinder has got one curvature only from one side. So this here what? T by R, and here in this case this is what? 2T by R. Is that clear? This is the derivation. Though it's not necessary that we need this derivation in the questions. If you remember it directly, that's all right. But see, figure reveals you that the pressure, the force generated from this part of the liquid is in what? It's in the inward direction. This is what? It's in the inward direction. So I'll be using this now to give the solution, to generate the solution of the problems which have already come in the IIT in the previous years. Like, look at this. Here's one question. It's like this, say, suppose we have a dropper and the radius of the dropper is what? It's r. Radius of cross section of this tube of the dropper is what? R. And here inside this we have a liquid drop. This liquid drop is going to fall like through this dropper. Some liquid drop is going to fall, and surface tension of this liquid is what? Surface tension of this liquid is T. Radius is small r. Now the question is what will become the radius capital R of the liquid drop when it will lose the contact from the dropper, that is, it will fall down. As the radius of the drop will gradually increase, the weight of the drop will also increase, and for certain weight, the force generated by the surface tension will not be able to hold it with itself. So the drop will fall. So now look at this. We do it like this. See, the force of surface tension generated from this part will be in the inward direction. The force of surface tension generated from this part will be in the inward direction. They'll cancel. So the forces, because surface tension is a force that acts from the surface, there must be a surface for it. Now see, corresponding to this part, from this part of the surface, there will be a force in the upward direction. And how much will be the force? We had just calculated it, that force will be what? That force will be T sine theta into what? 2 pi r. Do you remember? We had calculated just now. It is what? Small r. So that will be T sine theta into what? 2 pi r is the force generated in the upward direction. Here we solve this. We properly calculated T into what? 2 pi r into pi r into 2 sine theta is what? 2 theta. I keep the value of 2 theta also. Obviously the 2 theta will be the angle subtended. This part, 2 theta will be the angle subtended by this part of radius r at the center. This 2 theta. So 2 theta will be equal to what? 2 small r divided by what? Capital R. 2 small r divided by what? Capital R. There is a force. So this force will be acting in the upward direction because of this surface. But see, because here we don't have any surface. Here we have the liquid in continuity. We don't have any surface here. So the force will not be acting here in the downward direction. So that means what? This becomes an imbalanced force. There is an external imbalanced force acting on it, and that force is how much? It becomes, this force is equal to T into 2 pi into r square upon capital R. Is that clear? There is a force this much. I have kept the value of sine theta 2 theta. So from here 2 theta will be equal to what? 2r divided by what? Capital R. So this is a force that will be acting upwards. Now if radius of the drop has become capital R, then weight of the drop will be equal to what? 4 by 3 pi r cube into density rho of the liquid into what? G. So in this equation, the unknown is what? Capital R. You can calculate the value of what? Capital R. So could you understand this? Means, you see, we could have done this by the pressure also. We can calculate, we can do it by pressure also. But say I wanted to tell you the fundamentals so that whenever there is some kind of change in the question, you start from the very basic and get to the solution by the fundamentals. So again I tell you that from this part, as I calculated right now, the force in the upward direction will be T sin theta into 2 pi r. Theta is a very small angle as shown in the figure here. So sin theta, this becomes 2 theta, and the value of 2 theta will be 2 small r upon capital R. I kept its value. There is a force in the upward direction and the weight of the drop is in the downward direction. When these two forces will become equal, the drop will just get detached from the dropper. So through this equation you can get the value of what? Capital R. Is that clear? Now see, I'll be using the same concept of this 2T by R in case of a capillary also. You'll see this. Look at this. Suppose we have a capillary. So in the capillary also, this is the meniscus in a capillary. This is a meniscus. I complete the circle of the meniscus. So radius of this meniscus is capital R. And say the radius of the capillary is small r. This is what? Small r. And angle of contact is what? This is angle of contact. Tangent on the meniscus makes some angle from the wall of the capillary inside the liquid, and this angle is called angle of contact. This we call what? Angle of contact. Is that clear? The tangent on the meniscus makes some angle from the wall of the capillary inside the liquid, and that angle is called what? Angle of contact. So as we have seen there, that the excess pressure is in the concave side. Like here we have the atmospheric pressure P naught. This is the liquid drop. Then as we calculated right now, the pressure P here will be equal to what? P will be equal to P naught plus 2T by R. So the excess pressure is always in which side? It is in the concave side of the liquid. It is how much is the excess? 2T by R. So at this point, the pressure will be in excess in the concave side. It means what? The pressure, but this is open to the atmosphere. This is what? This is open to the atmosphere. And the pressure in the convex side will be what? It will be smaller by 2T by R. So look at this. I make once again a clear figure. But through this figure, I told you that pressure is in excess in the concave side by how much? 2T by R, where R is the radius of curvature of the liquid surface when it's a spherical surface. Here also in the capillary of very narrow diameter, of very narrow radius, small r, the radius of the meniscus is what? Capital R. That is the radius of the liquid surface is what? Capital R. So first of all, I tell you the relation between this theta, capital R, and small r. If this is theta, this is 90 minus theta, so this is theta. So cos of theta is equal to small r by capital R. This is the relation between radius of the capillary and the radius of the meniscus, cos theta. And you might be knowing, and they use it in so many competitions, almost in all the competitions, they use it what? They say that the angle of contact for the water is what? 0. Angle of contact for the water and glass means capillary is of glass and the liquid is water, then the angle of contact is what? Almost 0. So in that case, because say if they use the glass and water combination and they don't say anything about the angle of contact, that means you have to take what? You have to take that small r equals to capital R, because this cos 0. So small r equals what? Capital R, because in that case they won't give the radius of the meniscus. They give the radius of the capillary, and the radius of the meniscus will be what? Same as that of the radius of the capillary. Is that clear? Now see, I make a separate figure to make my point clear. Now look at this. So here, there is a capillary. I have taken the diameter to be bigger just to make the figure much more clear. Now look at this. This is the meniscus of the liquid. This is the center of the meniscus. Now see, because this side is open to the atmosphere, so pressure at this point will be what? P naught. And just inside it, in the convex side here, the pressure will be what here? It will be P naught minus 2T by R. That was the point to be cleared. Like pressure is always more. The pressure difference between the concave and convex side is how much? 2T by R. And which side pressure is more? Pressure is more on the concave side, because that was made clear from the figure itself, that how in the concave side the forces act towards the center. So this is the pressure here. Now suppose this was kept in a container and this is a liquid. So say liquid rises here up to this point, height h. This is the rise of the liquid up to height h. Now see, the pressure at this point is what? P naught. Now the concept is what? Pressure at all the horizontal points inside the same liquid should be same. So pressure here should also be what? This should be P naught. So now see, to make the pressure P naught here, we calculate it from here. The pressure at this point is what? P naught minus 2T by R. So P naught minus 2T by R plus H rho Z. This is the column of H height will produce the pressure H rho Z. So P naught minus 2T by R plus H rho Z, that will be called what? P naught. So P naught and P naught, they get cancelled, and we get that 2T by capital R equals what? H rho Z. That is, this becomes H equals to what? H is 2T by R rho G. This is the height of the height attained in the capillary. Okay, so that was a simple thing. That was one of the basic results, that in terms of radius of the capillary, the height attained by the liquid column is what? H equals 2T by R. And liquid rises. In what case? When the meniscus is concave upwards, then the liquid will rise. If the meniscus is concave downwards, in that case, from this normal outside level, the liquid will go down by the same amount, 2T by R rho D. Now, the point that I wanted to make clear, you'll see this. You have to remember that when you take a liquid in a capillary, suppose this is a capillary, and we have the same thing, like this is the liquid is of water, and capillary is of glass. Here we have a liquid column. This is a liquid column. What you have to remember is, because see, if you leave a liquid column here, you can always see that some length column of the liquid can always be balanced inside the capillary, though the lower part of the capillary is also open, but it will not fall down, it could be balanced. Now what the concept is, you'll see this. You have to remember that upper surface of the capillary is always, in this case, concave upwards. Is always concave upwards, and its radius R will be equal to what? Its radius capital R will be equal to small r. This capital R will be equal to what? Small r. Small r is the radius of the capillary, and this is always concave upwards. So basically, upper surface will create a pressure difference P1, that will be equal to 2T by R. Is that clear? Now see, if in some other case, like if the liquid is not water or the material of the capillary is not glass, in that case you can always find, they'll give these parameters. They'll give the radius of the capillary, radius of the meniscus, you'll have to calculate, which capital R equals what? Small r by cos theta. So these parameters in that case will be given to you so that you can calculate that. But what radius of the meniscus comes from here, the meniscus of the upper surface will always be that. And due to that, the pressure generated will be what? 2T by R. Now suppose this is the column of liquid of height h. Now this column of liquid of height h, whose density is rho, will generate a pressure P2, that will be equal to H rho G. Now what kind of different questions can come or have already come, They are like this. See. Suppose they have asked you the question about what about the radius of curvature of the lower surface? What about the radius of curvature of the lower surface? Will it be concave upwards, or will it be concave downwards, or it will be flat, that is it will be plane? Look at this, it depends upon what? See the first condition. First condition is that if you find that P1 is equal to P2, in that case the lower meniscus will be plane, because we don't need any pressure difference from that to support this column. This pressure difference is enough to balance H rho G. So in this case the lower meniscus will be flat, that is it will be plane surface. Now see the second case. Second case is what? If you find that P1 is less than P2, means what? This pressure difference 2T by R cannot balance this H rho G. We need the pressure from the lower side also. In this case the figure will become like this. See, this is the upper meniscus. In the lower meniscus its radius is R dash. Now the pressure difference generated from here is what? 2T by R dash, and this will remain R. This will remain R as given by this equation. So now the pressure difference generated from the upper side will be what? This is the solution for the second part, 2T by R, and the pressure difference generated from this will be what? 2T by R dash, that will be equal to what? H rho G, and you can get the value of what? R dash. But remember that in no case R dash could be less than R. Means what? The minimum value of R dash minimum, the radius of curvature of the lower meniscus is what? Greater than, less than, equal to what? It is always greater than, equal to what? R. R is the radius of curvature of the upper meniscus. Means what? This radius can never be less than capital R. Its minimum value could be equal to what? Capital R. It could be greater than that. It could be infinite also. Like when the surface is flat, the radius of curvature is what? It's infinite. Is that clear? Now the third case becomes what? I write it here, see. The third case becomes, this is the third case. If you find that P1 is greater than P2, means this 2T by R, and it has to be 2T by R as I told you, the radius of the upper meniscus will be capital R as given by that law, capital R equals to small r by cos theta. It will be fixed. But this is greater than to handle this pressure H rho G. So what will happen? Now the figure will become like this. See, upper meniscus, radius capital R, lower meniscus will be concave downwards and its radius is R dash. So the equation will become 2T by R minus 2T by R dash, that will be equal to what? H rho Z. And you can get the value of what? R dash from here. You can get the value of what? R dash from this equation. So these are the three kind of questions that are made from here, from that concept of 2T by R. But remember, the initial concept that I told you, how I had made a surface on the spherical drop, and through that I had calculated that what force will be acting towards center of the liquid. That is very important, because see, most of the time in the past years, the questions that have come, they were based upon that part. Like I give just one more example, and this example is what? In 1 year of IIT JEE it was asked that here we have a soap bubble, just from there. Here we have a soap bubble, and the air was blown from here with the velocity V0. Density of the air is rho, and the air was blown from here with the velocity V0. The radius of the capillary was small r, and the surface tension of the film of the soap bubble is T. The question was, what will become the radius of the bubble when this bubble will detach itself from the capillary? Like as the radius increases, at some point of time, the bubble will detach itself from the capillary. So see, the question was based upon the same concept. You see, the force generated here in the inward direction will be balanced by the force generated here. The force generated here will be balanced by the force generated here. But look at this, the force generated from this part will be in the inward direction. And how much will be the force? As we calculated in that case, T sine theta into what? 2 pi r, that will be the force in the inward direction. And because here in this side, this will be 2t here. The reason being what? It's a soap bubble. Soap bubble has got two surfaces. Surface means what? Where the liquid is in contact with the air. So in case of bubble, the liquid is in contact with the air in the inner side as well as in the outer side. So here it will not be T sine theta, it will be what? 2t sine theta. So the force in the inward direction becomes 2t sine theta into what? 2 pi r. And because here is no surface opposite to it, so there will be no force in this side. Now see, so this force will be balanced by what? This flowing air of density rho and V naught will apply a force at this part, and that force will be in this side. How much will be the force? You see, the momentum coming per second, the volume of the air flowing per second will be what? A into V, that is pi r square into what? V naught. There is a volume flowing per second. So there is a mass flowing per second. So there is a momentum flowing per second. So there is a momentum flowing per second, that is there is a force that is exerted by this air on this part in the outward direction. So that will be equal to pi r square into V naught square into rho. So from this equation, we'll get the value of sine theta here. This becomes T, and this 2 theta. 2 theta becomes equal to what? Same angle. This 2 theta. So 2 theta will be equal to what? 2r divided by capital R into what? 2 pi r. This equals to pi r square into what? V naught square into rho. Is that clear? So this force exerted by the flow of air on this part will be balanced by what? This will be balanced by the force generated by the force of surface tension. And you see, we calculate this part. This part becomes simple. How? Look at this. This pi r square and pi r square becomes, they cancel each other. This pi r square and this pi r square, they cancel each other. And this becomes what? 40 by r. So this equation becomes 40 by r is equal to what? This becomes V naught square into rho. And through this you can calculate the value of what? Rho. You could have directly done it in this way also, but there comes a factor of half. In both kind of solutions have been given, but I prefer this solution more. The other solution is what? The pressure difference generated from the surface tension of the liquid is how much? It's 4T by R. This is a pressure difference generated by the surface tension of the film. And when what will be the pressure generated by the Bernoulli's theorem? The pressure generated by this air which is flowing with the velocity V naught, that will be equal to what? Half rho V naught square. Means what? When this kinetic head of half rho V naught square strikes here and comes to rest, that generates what? Pressure difference. That generates what? That is converted into pressure head. So there is a kinetic head, but the same kinetic head when will strike here and will be stopped, that will generate a pressure head of what? Half rho V naught square, and that equals what? 40 by R. In this case, the solution becomes simple because you know, you always remember this formula 40 by R, and you already know the kinetic head gets converted into what? Pressure head. So this pressure is equal to 40 by R because this pressure will be generated towards the outward, in the outward direction, and this pressure generates a force in the inward direction. Is that clear? So here there is a difference of half here, but I prefer this solution. The reason being, the air that was striking was carrying a momentum, and the momentum is stopped. Due to that, a force acts on it, and the direction of that force is in the outward direction, and the force of surface tension on this part of the film is in the inward direction, so it balances it. So all right, basically my focus in this class was what? One was related to the capillary, how some liquid column can be balanced in a capillary. And the second part was what? That was related to how the pressure difference 2T by R or 4T by R is generated, and I have seen that in the different years of examinations, the examiner has used the same kind of figure, almost similar figure with some variations. So if you understand that in what direction the force acts, how much the force acts, there will be one force that will be balancing it. So these will be two sides of the equation, and you can solve all such kind of problems straight. So all right, we'll be meeting soon. and make a very good effort. Okay.